situation on the ground in Gaza to now look at diplomacy. But first, tens of thousands of Israelis have taken to the streets of Tel Aviv, demanding a deal to secure the release of all hostages currently held in Gaza. Protesters marched from Hostage Square to the US Embassy branch, carrying banners and chanting for the immediate return of the captives and an end to the ongoing war. Former hostages released by Hamas joined the demonstration, urging Israeli leaders and US President Donald Trump to push for a comprehensive agreement. Smaller protests were also held in other parts of the country, including Karka Junction and Rothschild Street. The rally comes amid ongoing negotiations between Israel and Hamas. Many such rallies are being constantly organised in Israel. Well, I understand that Ali is just facing some technical challenges, so while we wait for him, let's have a look at the context of this situation. Of course, a war that started on October the 7th, 2023, an attack by Hamas that saw the death of over 1,000 Israelis, also hostages, over 250 taken back into Hamas. That has seen an escalation of military activity from Israel in the Gaza Strip, which continued until a ceasefire was agreed. However, after the first stage of that ceasefire, fighting and hostilities resumed with no second phase agreed upon. The situation in the Gaza Strip extremely difficult. Reports from NGOs and charities that the humanitarian crisis is worsening. Blockade on aid reportedly leading to famine and hunger. And now, of course, further efforts are ongoing. But with hostages being held by Hamas still, rhetoric in Israel is turning against the government in some areas, looking towards a hostage release and an end to the war as a priority. Ali, thank you for once again joining us. Let's look at the thoughts in Israel. Of course, there are pockets which do want this war to end, mainly because of the hostage situation. That coming as negotiations are still ongoing between Israel and Hamas indirectly, but currently still no pressure. What do you think is needed with both sides in certain areas looking for an end to this conflict? What do you think is needed to get a ceasefire deal over the line, even if it is just the US proposed 60-day ceasefire, in order to then look towards a permanent end to the fighting and a return of hostages, prisoners, and a return to normality for millions of those living in Gaza? Well, it seems that we have lost Ali, but we will, of course, continue to bring you all of the updates on the ongoing situation in Gaza and calls and work towards the end of this conflict. Discussions still ongoing, optimism from the United States and Israel, and we will bring you those. But now we do